Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to exorcise the subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, as the gang walk through the school, Seika suddenly asks if Amyu would like to meet his family, which Yifa misinterprets as a marriage proposal. But Seika clears it up, as it's his father that wants to meet this mysterious swordsman, capable of wielding 4 affinities. Accepting, Mabel is also asked to join, only for Seika to head elsewhere, chatting to Yuki and revealing that there is someone important that wants to see Amyu for themselves, and that it must be something political. Greeting his brother Luft wonders why Seika looks unwell, but Seika brushes it off as him being a little sick due to the carriages. Complimenting his mature older brother, Seika introduces both Amyu and Mabel, only for Luft to return the favor. As a man, Edis welcomes Seika and Yifa home. It's revealed that Edis is Yifa's father. Seeing Yifa grow more mature, Luft can't help but compliment her, but suddenly Glai calls out to Seika. Happy to see his brother, Seika compliments Glai's sleek armor, which Glai mentions that he must thank Seika, as he didn't expect to enjoy training to be a soldier, and that he would rather fight all day than study. Still holding a grudge, after his humiliating defeat, Glai challenges Seika to a rematch, only for Amyu to learn that Glai used to bully Yifa. Stepping in, Amyu asks to fight in place of Seika, but Glai is clearly against, until Seika promises to duel him if he wins. Agreeing, Glai has Seika referee the match, stating that no magic is allowed. Allowing Amyu to use a real sword, Glai states that all he needs is a wooden sword, which triggers Amyu. In the duel beginning, Amyu goes on the offensive, pushing Glai back. But when Glai is about to lose, he pretends to cast a spell, only to disarm Amyu and win. Calling Glai out for cheating, Glai mentions that he didn't actually cast a spell, and that in the battlefield, using tricks is more important than losing one's life. Turning to Seika, Glai talks about how he knows Seika won the mixed combat tournament, which gets Seika to accept the duel. Suddenly, a mysterious princess trots onto the field, prompting Glai to question why she's here, and with no one watching her. Having slipped past her guards, the princess hints at the fact that a knight's honor would be tainted, no matter what defeat they suffer, which Glai is forced to agree with, calling off the duel. Wanting to learn about Seika's gang, it's revealed that the girl is Princess Fiona Allegelife, a holy princess. Apparently, Fiona was deemed the holy princess, as she was birthed by a priestess whilst having the emperor as her father. Asking about the princess's reason for visiting, they learn that Fiona is here to meet Amyu, learning about her high ranking in the school, not only academically, but magically and physically. Noting Amyu's gorgeous red hair and green eyes, Fiona offhandedly mentions her deceased mother, but quickly changes the subject. Hoping to get along with the gang, the princess leaves, as Amyu questions whether Seika knew the princess would be here, but didn't tell anyone. During dinner, Fiona talks about wanting to fly, and she would like to be some sort of animal with the capability. When Seika offers a bird, Fiona says she would prefer something more powerful, like a dragon. Having met one himself, Seika recounts his and Yifa's adventure to Asteria, which gets the princess interested in Yifa's and Seika's relationship. Switching topics, Fiona talks about the genius of Seika's school, willing to enroll any child, no matter their status, and valuing magic highly. At the end of the table, Seika's father stares at Seika, flashing back to when his father asks Edis whether he's mad that they sent Yifa off to school. But Edis says that he's mad that Yifa is a slave to Seika, as Edis senses something strange from Seika. Thanking Seika for taking care of the dragons, his father says that news has spread of Seika's accomplishments, proud that his son is finding his own path in life. Before dinner ends, Seika is surprised, when his mother suddenly talks to Seika. Alone with his room, Yuki talks about how the princess was saying weird things, which Seika agrees, but states that in his past life, his wife was similar. Before Yuki can learn about his past wife, Amyu barges in, forgetting to knock. Laying on Seika's bed, the two begin to chat, as they talk about plans for the future. Learning that Amyu will probably set her sights on becoming an adventurer, Seika reveals that he will be joining her, as that was what he had promised. Asking if Amyu would show him the ropes, Amyu gleefully agrees, bidding him good night. Before heading off, Yuki reminds Seika to not stand out too much. The next morning while Mabel is still asleep, the princess, Glai, Seika and Amyu head into town, where Seika is showing the princess around. Knowing that the princess didn't want any guards around her, Seika realizes that he and Glai will have to protect the princess if anything were to arise. Entering a more crowded area, the princess suddenly grabs Seika's hand, pretending to be on a date. But Seika worries that this may tarnish her reputation, which she brushes off, asking Glai to buy them some food. Noticing people watching them, the princess spots a couple, wondering how two people fall in love. Saying that entails, usually after someone is saved, the two would fall in love, but the princess has always had to overcome her own challenges, wishing for the day someone comes and saves her. As they move onto a construction site, Amyu calls the two lovebirds out from holding hands, but they continue, as the princess rushes onto the site. With a pile of wood suddenly falling onto Seika and the princess, Glai quickly casts a wind spell to break the wood, as Amyu conjures an earth spell, to shield them from the debris. Wondering why Seika didn't protect himself, the princess shows disappointment, wanting to be saved by Seika. Before heading home, Seika gives the princess a hair tie, even conjuring a mirror to show off her new look. That evening, Seika praises Glai's hard work, constantly training, explaining how he became a holy knight. But Glai stops Seika, stating that he was not chosen because of his skills, but because the princess needs him for something else, being a master at manipulating politics. Apparently, Fiona's mother was an oracle, able to see into the future, and it seems the princess has similar traits, speaking of a hero and the demon king. Which Glai used to deduce that Amyu was the hero. Warning Seika to not grow too close, Glai heads off. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and comment.